Boldness. Acts 4:29, NLT, reads, "Give us, your servants, great boldness in preaching your word." Who are we? The verse calls us God's servants. Are you God's servant? In America, we often fill our prayers with requests rather than worship, frustrations with God rather than thankfulness. To truly have our identity founded in Christ, we must submit to His leadership. When He does this work in our lives, we let go of some of our earthly fear because our holy fear of God is in its rightful place. In what ways does God increase our boldness about Christ? Let's take a backdoor approach and start by looking at barriers to boldness. What are your physical and emotional barriers to being bold? Do you feel worried about rejection? Me too, but when I keep my roles in the proper order, with my role as a daughter of God being first, I remember that He is with me, and I want to choose faith over fear. I also remind myself that pleasing God is more important than pleasing others, and I'd rather God be pleased with me and feel a little awkward. I still sin sometimes and choose comfort rather than boldness. How does keeping your eyes on your role as a child of God help increase boldness? What about being bold with the talents and roles God has put inside us? When are you most bold as a parent, spouse, friend, or employee? I'm most bold when I've spent time with God, taken a shower, gotten rest, read or listened to academic content, spent time with friends, exercised, and eaten a decent meal. Do you get it? I'm a little needy. Are you? If we think back to our list of mental stability versus mental instability, we feel less like ourselves when we feel less stable. Then we pull back, isolate, and act less boldly. It's a vicious cycle that brings trouble to our lives. What are your habits? When are you most bold? What actions do you feel are most essential to helping you become who God called you to be? Invite God into the midst of your most unstable thoughts, feelings, and behaviors. Extra credit. Write out, memorize, and/or pray this verse. Acts 4:29, NLT, "Give us, your servants, great boldness in preaching your word."
And now, O Lord, hear their threats, and give us, your servants, great boldness in preaching your word.